So I grew up as a dependent of an active duty service member. My family and I traveled the world, and we moved around often. And out of all the places that I lived, Okinawa, Japan was by far my favorite. And it gave me this natural, comforting sense of home. And I knew one day that I had to get back. Eventually, in 1998, my journey brought me back here, and I've been here ever since. Okinawa is a subtropical paradise with warm weather and beautiful beaches. And it has some of the best scuba diving in the world, and the people are some of the kindest people you ever meet. It's also rich in nature scenery as well, and we have a variety of endemic species that are only found in the northern part of Okinawa, in the Yambaru forest. Now in 2010, I got heavily involved in documenting the animals of the Ryukyu Islands, primarily focusing on wildlife conservation as well as the protection of endangered species. June 10th, 2010, a friend and I were exploring central Okinawa, and we stumbled upon a terrestrial hermit crab that was adapting with our waste. And when I saw this, I was absolutely amazed, because I'd never seen anything like this before. I had to take a second look. It's like we discovered a new species or something. Absolutely amazing. And so, of course, I took multiple photographs of it. And on the drive home, all I could think about was this hermit crab. Why was it adapting with our waste? And I wanted to learn as much as I possibly could about this adaptive behavior. So as soon as I got home, I got on the computer. And I researched information concerning this, and I couldn't find anything out there. So I immediately made contact with a popular publication agency, and I told them the story of finding this hermit crab adapting with our waste. And I think it would make a great topic for your magazine, and I provided the images as well. And kindly and respectfully, the editor got back to me and stated, "Thank you, but this makes a great topic, but we do have our stories already planned out for the year. But please post it on our online photo sharing site." So sure enough, I did. And I didn't get any feedback from it, and I was slightly discouraged because I knew in my mind that this would make a powerful topic. Years went by without seeing another hermit crab adapting with our waste. And it wasn't until 2014 when I started focusing on photographing the animals on our coastline, specifically during the night, that I started finding more of these hermit crabs adapting with their waste. So at that point, I decided to start my own project called Crabs with Beach Trash Homes. And I was highly motivated to document as many as I possibly could. And I even had friends and family assisting with this as well. And with their help, we were able to document over 60 crabs that were found naturally using our waste. Now, this was a great opportunity for me to focus on improving my photography skills as well as my lighting. Now, I wanted to deliver documentation photographs, but I also wanted to provide dramatic lighting as well, so all the images did not look the same. So I spent most of my time photographing these hermit crabs with high-powered flashlights, as well as flash on camera, as well as flash off camera with different diffusion materials and different light angles. Now, I spent most of my time photographing these hermit crabs on beaches with abundance of trash. And it seemed like the trashier the beach, the more hermit crabs I seemed to find. Most of these items that were washed ashore were single-use items or throwaway items. Found lots of medicine prescriptions, styrofoam, plastic twist top caps, as well as bottles, plastic, forks, knives, spoons, lighters, flip-flops, shotgun shells, ropes, cigarette butts, and more. I also took a scientific approach when photographing these hermit crabs. I photographed them for the Meet Your Neighbors project, which is dedicated to connecting people worldwide with the wildlife in their community. And this method really stood out because it focused on the beauty and the detail of the hermit crab as well as what trash it was using. And it eliminated any distracting elements in the background. But at first, this project just didn't get the recognition that I expected. Now, was this because I didn't have the powerful content? Or was it because I wasn't reaching the right people or the right editors? Or was it because people don't enjoy looking at images of trash on their wall, right? Because realistically, what people prefer to have on their walls are images of beach scenes, seascapes, sunrises. And so at this point, I decided to change the perspective of things and photograph these hermit crabs in beautiful light during sunset next to these scenes. So people would start looking at this issue. They would see it in a different light. Now, the hermit crabs are the caretakers of the shoreline. They mainly feed on the marine life that wash ashore, as well as they feed on fruit and help out with seed dispersal. And they even clean up after our waste after beach barbecues and parties when people throw leftovers on the ground. They're the scavengers of the shoreline. These hermit crabs, they prefer to have a solid shell to protect their sensitive body, their sensitive abdomen. And they will even adapt with a tree nut if nothing else is available. Now, some of the most interesting man-made items that I have found the hermit crabs adapting with have been screws from light bulb ends, glass bottles, measuring scoops, and laundry detergent caps. So why do these hermit crabs adapt with our waste in the first place? Is there a limited number of shells due to over-collecting on our shorelines? That's definitely possible. But what we do know is these crabs, they grow, they get bigger, and they have to constantly upgrade their current mobile home. They fight over this valuable real estate. Eventually, the strong will push out the weak. The weak will abandon the shell, and eventually, it has to find something to deal with, to adapt with. Now, they don't prefer to have our waste to adapt with our trash. They're just temporarily making do with what is available at the time. Now, in Okinawa, hermit crabs have few predators, mainly other hermit crabs, ants, birds, and of course, humans. Their biggest threat, habitat loss and over-collecting to the pet trade. Every hermit crab that you see in the pet shop was taken from the wild. Now, at first, I was absolutely fascinated with the crab's ability to adapt to its changing environment that was drastically affected by humans. And the more and more that I photographed these crabs, the more concerned I was with the amount of waste that was washing up on our beautiful shorelines. Now, we're all guilty of polluting our environment in some way or form. So how can we fix this problem? What can we do to make a difference? First, we could start off by reducing single-use items that we use and purchase on a daily basis and make the switch to reusable resources. Now, the two items that pose the biggest threat in our community and our oceans are plastic bags and twist-top caps from beverage bottles. We could easily switch to reusable products on a daily basis. We're all capable of doing that. Next, we need to do a better job of preventing the waste from getting in the ocean in the first place by ensuring that we're disposing of our trash as well as recycling it better. And last, we need to do a better job of collecting the waste from the ocean as well as the shoreline. And how can all of us make a difference in this? By simply participating in a beach cleanup. This is extremely beneficial to the environment as well as to the community. We're all capable of doing it, all ages, and we have the ability to inspire others through social media posts to do something great for the environment. Because the more we learn about nature, the more we want to protect it. So why is it important to remove this trash, this plastic pollution on our shorelines now? Now, the longer it stays on the shore, it becomes weathered. It becomes brittle. It breaks down into smaller pieces. It photodegrades. And then it becomes much more difficult to clean up, to pick up, as well as eventually it washes back out to sea and starts affecting the wildlife from the bottom of the food chain and working its way back up. Now, the hermit crab is one of the few animals that could successfully adapt with their waste. Now, we are destroying our environment with these single-use items at an unstoppable rate. We've seen all the warning signs. Now it's time to act. All it takes is making some small changes in our daily activities that can make a difference in our future. Thank you.